Hi everyone, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It is a broad spectrum reading, so you need to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. It is for the collective and to be shared. It's not like, sort of the energies are out there that are available to us. It's originally created for Monday, May 8th. It's not solely set for that date. If you're seeing it on a different date and it makes sense to your situation, by all means utilize the reading when you're seeing it. I do believe readings have a way of finding their way to us when we need them rather than when they were originally created for. If the reading doesn't make sense at all, that's okay. It doesn't necessarily mean anything's broken or wrong. You just might be working on something different at this time. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily readings. In there is some housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about when utilizing the channel, what decks I'm using. Hi, Two of Cups. It's at the bottom of the deck. What decks I'm using, how to contact me on social media or follow me. If you want a private reading, you would need to message me at my Instagram or my Facebook business page to initiate a private reading. That would be more specific to your situation. Those are available and payable via PayPal. I do have a Patreon page. If you want to see the video a day early, you can sign up with a subscription there. And it will tell you, the drop-down menu will tell you what decks I'm using and easy ways to support the channel. Like, you can do so by hitting the thumbs up button, subscribing to the channel, hitting the notification bell so you get notified when I go live, or not live, when I put up new content. I do that daily, so that's always good. And then leaving me a question or comment in the comment section, or sharing the video out, all of that is greatly appreciated. I will refer back to the Sunday underpinning, which is the Sunday reading. That's a layer of energy that's going on underneath this. So if you hear me mentioning cards that you do not see in this reading, I'm usually referring back to that reading, and that populates in the lower left-hand corner of this video. So you can watch that also for further insight. All right, so let's see what's going on with the cards. What does Spirit want us to know for Monday the 8th? So our card for the day is the Ten of Pentacles. Not mad at this. This is a card of kind of like, everybody being okay in the end, financially, materially, in the 3D world, people being happy, being able to provide for not only ourselves, but those that we love. It can be the completion of a cycle with struggle around money or finances, relationships, but in a good way, right? Like in a beneficial way where everybody's happy and well cared for, well taken care of. Underpinning this from the Sunday reading is that Magician card, and I felt like the reading felt very productive for this week. Like, we're setting up goals around what it is we want and then getting ready to take action to move towards that. This Ten of Pentacles with the Magician underpinning it feels like this could be the dream, the far off thing that we saw on the horizon that I mentioned in the Sunday reading. This is like that idea of feeling content, safe, grounded, able to provide for ourselves and those that we love. Everything kind of being in alignment, feeling complete, whole, in the 3D world, within our relationships, within our finances. Not that it can be a card of abundance, don't get me wrong, right? It can be this overflowing abundance, magical, wonderful moment, a windfall of finances or whatever, but it can also just be like us seeing on the horizon, this is what would feel good, this is what would look good, this is where everybody would feel protected, safe, provided for. And so looking to that grander idea and using the power of the Magician to begin to start to set that in motion through, and I don't want to say magically creating it, because magically makes it sound impossible, but the Magician is about manifestation, right? So this to me feels like the card of manifestation. Like, today's the day where we need to be looking at what's the final outcome that we want? How do we want to feel complete? Where and what areas of our life in our 3D day-to-day world would we like to see abundance or completion, support, groundedness? happiness, right? And then setting about using that magician's energy or that magician's insight to steer us towards this, keeping like this as kind of our vision or our sights on this. Dwelling in the possibility of this is in the good feeling that this card would represent also brings about that ability to manifest through the magic of the spirit of the magician, right? He is sort of spirit, or as above, so below, meaning when we feel it at a certain level and we begin to concentrate on the good feelings of it, like how Abraham Hicks talks about, we begin to start setting forth the manifestation of it. So dare to dream big today, right? Even if we don't necessarily feel like we have this, some of you, you may have this. This could also be just a simple card of being grateful, or having gratitude for the things that we do have. And within that gratitude, building upon that, making it greater, making it bigger, making it more complete, letting more flow in, and enjoying that flow, honoring the graces, the gifts, the windfalls that come to us, and being thankful for that, so that more of that builds upon itself and builds upon itself and builds upon itself. That's kind of the vibe that I get from this, especially with that magician underpinning this. Let's look at the, what's it called? The Untamed Elemental card. I love it. Rose. I'm going to assume offhand that rose is associated with Earth because it's a plant, but let's see, because sometimes these are different than, because this elemental oracle goes by suits, which is really interesting. It is Earth. So I like this because we have double Earth here. We have Rose being Earth, and we also have the Ten of Pentacles being Earth, which is like earthy abundance, right? And we're in Taurus season, and Venus is about to go into Cancer for like, I think, the next 4 weeks. And so Venus is a planet of beauty, love, harmony, focusing on those things. And then Cancer is very much an emotional sign. It's very much nurturing, mothering. It can be fertility. It can be, psychic too. How do we nurture the things that we want in our life, and the love, the more of the beauty? The rose to me also depicts sort of that Venus energy of beauty, growth, delicacy, right? Being appreciative of the things that are beautiful and working right in our life. And in that appreciation, the magician's magic, or his energy, like that major arcana energy, begins to push forth even more beauty, more spiritual. It's funny to me because the rose is a spiritual sign. It's a flower, right? It's always depicted around like the feet of the Virgin de Guadalupe. It's used oftentimes in different spiritual practices, but it's also grounded in the earth, right? And we see that in the as above, so below with the magician. When we concentrate on the things that are right in our lives, we open the door for more of those manifestations to come in. And I feel like that's also the Ten of Pentacles influence here too. And Rose is about like appreciating the beauty in our life and letting it grow. Remembering that some of these things, I always associate rose with being like this sort of delicate, beautiful flower, yet it still has thorns, right? It still has protection to it. You can, you may think it looks weak or vulnerable, but it's not. It's got its own protection system in place so that it can grow and stimulate and create more beauty in our life. So let me read Rose to you really quick, because I've been reading these and I'm kind of enjoying them. And it's interesting, I'm just going to show you. Rose is on page number 33, which is a master number. And it's funny too, we saw the Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Two of Cups is about love, harmony, mirrored souls, the relationship to those that we love. So that kind of also can be embraced during this reading too, because that harmony, that love, that emotional sort of connection can also stimulate the growth of this rose and the abundance of this Ten of Pentacles. It says, undefended heart. Her delicate scent is a microcosm. It contains notes of celestial bodies that have lent her their wisdom, so that she may align herself with universal love. Between her golden center and thorns is a story of both praise and protection. She is the pristine flower of angelic adoration. Remember, the grounding stone this week, you guys, is angel. So she is the pristine flower of angelic adoration, and is also endowed with the ability to draw blood from a mindless approacher. That's the protection I was talking about of the thorns, guys. She is Rose, a potent aid for harmonizing the heart. Shout out to Rose in Hawaii, by the way. Rose requires both shadow and light to do her work. Her medicine is strongest beneath a full moon. And we just had the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. Her medicine is strongest beneath a full moon. She speaks of love within her realm. That would be that Two of Cups I saw today. Nothing else exists. The earth journey is filled with joys and sorrows, and Rose asks you to draw upon her magic to live with an undefended heart. Take care to keep your heart center washed clean so that it doesn't close down from the exhaustion of being overburdened. Rose radiates purity and connects your entirety to this present moment, to her beloved garden, where you will return to harmony and balance. Communing with Rose is a powerful way to help maintain the alacrity, I don't even know what that word is, of your heart through the ups and downs of life. Balanced, keen emotional intelligence, and open-hearted. Imbalanced, blocked feelings, heady, bitter. To bring into balance, shift into your higher mind, validate your authentic feelings. Wow. And I think that that will produce growth and beauty in our life and harmony into how we feel and what we want through this Ten of Pentacles. Let's look at the clarifiers really quick. I'm just going to fire them out and get just an overall sense. So we have the Five of Cups. We have the King of Wands, and then we have the Knight of Swords, which he is our end of the week card, right? He is that sort of clear communication, new messages charging in, new ideas charging in. On our Sunday reading, he was on a Pegasus, which was a little bit more spiritually magical than this particular Knight of Swords, but it's still that white horse of purity coming in, blazing that sword. The King of Wands is about taking action, right? He is fire. The Knight of Swords is air. They feed one another. Kings order knights to go do their bidding. Whatever action we want to take today, it's about having clear thoughts and believing in those thoughts and moving towards them. The Five of Cups can indicate a sort of sadness or forlornness. There might be a little bit of a loss or even some sort of depression or sadness, but I don't necessarily think that this outweighs the tenacity of both the king and the knight, right? And the interesting thing about this is that in the Five of Cups, the depiction, there's 3 spilled cups, and he's looking at them and focusing on the loss of that. But behind him is the card that I saw at the bottom of the deck this morning, 2 filled cups still standing up. He's not necessarily seeing the love that's present still behind him. He's also not seeing that there's a house in the distance, there's a lake or a river that he can refill his cups, and a bridge to get there. So for those of you that might be coming out of some feelings around a loss or some sadness around a situation, that's okay. Feel that, move through it. Fives are transitory. We don't necessarily want to stay stuck in those feelings, and I don't think that we will, especially with the Magician present and the Ten of Pentacles here. We want to use those feelings or the water from that cups, from the Five of Cups, the sorrow, the sadness, to help build us up. Like the water from those cups feeds the rose to grow, right? It reminds us to connect into our spiritual self and understand that sometimes hardship is a part of life, but hardship doesn't have to hold us there. Hardship or loss can kind of show us what we don't want, and from there we can begin to steer and create our ideas towards what we do want in a much greater, grander scheme. When we have the King of Wands here, he's the great big demander, right? He's like, spirit on fire, let's make it happen. He's in charge. He's of the highest order of the Wands signs. So he knows how to get in there and start to take action. And the Knight of Swords is also very fast-moving action and clarity of thought, going in service, loyalty to ourselves, to a situation, to our loved ones, and being willing to make effectual change, even if we're feeling a little bit down or depressed. I think that the Five of Cups is here trying to tell us, honor our feelings, right? Understand where we've taken hits or losses, but understand that we still have 2 cups, those 2 cups of love. We saw the Two of Cups, and I saw the Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck, and so it says, even in the face of some adversity, focus on the love and the possibility, and then allow that to grow, allow that to, be your impetus for how you take action, the focus that you keep, and then move into that action by clarifying your thoughts and your communications towards moving towards that through the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords, like I said, is present in the Sunday reading. So he's kind of like a precursor or like a foreshadowing that, you know, we can have this, we can make this happen, we can charge in and like not take control per se, but shift our thoughts and be, you know, in the, like at the driver's seat, even if there's been some sadness or some loss. The grounding stone is nature. I like this because I always see this as two different meanings, right? Nature, the natural world, plants, grounding ourselves, connecting to the environment around us. And this Ten of Pentacles would be that earthy nature idea. Looking at it both from a nature or natural world, but also from the 3D world, and grounding in that and understanding our true nature within everything means we have to feel some of the sadness, the loss, the letdown, or where our failures maybe have taken place. But we don't have to let them sort of rule us or repeat within our lives. We can like dust ourselves off, find our true nature, find our true desire, grow our rose, and take those thoughts and communications and charge forward with the power of the magician to begin to affect change in a very positive and abundant way with this Ten of Pentacles here. That is your reading. I hope that that makes sense, guys. I get this feeling that there's something really big happening over this week and possibly next week that sets about plans for us for creation and new beginnings towards manifestations or abundance that we maybe didn't feel like the gates were open for us to head towards. They feel open to me, especially seeing this Knight of Swords twice. It's like, get ready to charge forth, understand what you want, understand what you desire, demand it almost. Feel the feelings, let them transition through you, but don't let them overtake you, right? That is your reading today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, share the video out, leave me a question or comment. I do love them, and I read them all. And, you know, let's see how this energy transforms this week as we keep moving through it. It should be a really interesting week, I swear. Like, embrace this and run with it. Have a great day. Bye.